Hello for the second day in a row. I think I'm on the right page this time, posting it to my business page instead of my personal page. I've been thinking, I always start out with I've been thinking, I think a lot. Yesterday, I talked about how we beat ourselves up for our past decisions and we don't really recognize that our past decisions, or mistakes, um, we did the best we could with the information that we had at the time. And I've been thinking about that, and I've also been thinking about how often, and pardon the noise of cartoons in the background, sick kid home for day two. But I don't think we recognize or we give credit to what our mistakes have to offer us. And sometimes because we get in this shame cycle and we're looking at things from the shame point of view, we forget to look at, or we don't know how to look at our mistakes or the things that we wish we would have done differently and see how it's actually benefited us and how it was actually the right thing at the right time. I've been looking at my own life, and I'm just really hyper aware of how important contrast is. I don't think we really know what's right until we really know what's wrong, right? If we just made the right decision all the time, um, if we never had the experience of looking at something and thinking, man, I wish that had played out differently, I wish I had done that differently, then we wouldn't really be able to appreciate when it feels right. It would just be kind of like this moot point, right? Like, I made this decision and it was fine. But I'm trying to think of like a good example, and hopefully Corey doesn't mind me sharing this, but like getting married and then divorced. I think a lot of us in this situation after divorce look back and think, why did I do that? Like, why? I was so dumb. Why did I get in this marriage that was doomed to fail or whatever? Um, and I can look back post divorce and see like where things went wrong early on, and not wrong as in um, like anything torrid, no fighting or lies or nothing like that. But I could see how I shut down parts of my personality, and I could see how I wasn't showing up fully as myself. And I can see all these things that I could have done differently and would have produced a different outcome. But then I also think, like, one, that's who I was at the time. And two, the agony and the struggle of having to look and discover myself has given me um, this sort of deep self-love and appreciation for my humanness and for where I am that I couldn't have gotten had everything just been fine. Had it just been, and that's not to say that everybody needs to, struggle with their marriages in order to be happy. But for me, I can see how these things I didn't know then, and how each thing that's happened has sort of set me on this path and has led me to this place where I can see all the gifts in it. And I think, we think of that. I think it's true with our kids too. We look at our kids and we want everything to be perfect for them. We want things to just go right. But the skill of being able to have a problem and to work through it and to feel like, I don't like this, I don't want this. That's what creates resiliency. That's what creates emotionally intelligent kids. That's what creates, empathy and those things. And so I think we live our lives trying to protect ourselves from struggle and from negativity and from making the wrong decision. And we try to see down the road and see how it's going to play out. But my challenge to you today is to just be in the moment. And if it feels right now, it's worth the investment, and to trust that whether right or wrong, whether it plays out or it doesn't, that it's going to teach you something, and that you will be better on the other side than you were going in. And your past mistakes, or things that you wish had gone differently, look at those and examine for a minute what your life would be like had you not had that experience, had it not transformed you in the way that it did. And not all things transform us for the better. Um, but they can if we let them. So, okay, that's it. Those are my thoughts for today. Talk to you soon.